From our snowy studio located in Madison, New Jersey, this is Real Good News.
I'm like the man they call a seeker. I'm a real truth speaker, and I always cut right to the core. And you know I really ask, cause I get right to the facts and get the answer to what I'm looking for. I can pronto play a liar, I'm a tireless and quiet. I've been a furious thinker since my youth. My mold is on above ground. I've always been a bloodhound for the truth. The truth. You can learn.
Welcome to another episode of Real Good News, your local news show for Morris and Union counties. On today's show, Georgette Castro will speak about dividend stock investing and New Jersey's e-bike laws. Michaela Patton will cover the Morristown Courthouse expansion and the nearly $171 million in safety funding provided by the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority. Plus, Steve Lebecken joins us with his story.
Coming up on Real Good News, we'll have a special interview with Dr. Stephen Post, author of Pure Unlimited Love, Science and the Seven Paths to Inner Peace, where he explores the profound themes of love and kindness, particularly in the context of today's world.
Later, Kate Chericello Tente from Healthy in the Garden State joins us at a local skating rink to highlight fun, healthy winter activities right here in our community. But first, here is Georgette Castro and Michaela Patton with their stories.
History comes alive this February at the Madison Public Library with a special program connecting George Washington's Revolutionary War and Morristown's unique role in American history. On Wednesday, February 11, at 7 p.m., historian Joel Farkas will present George Washington and Morristown Perfect Together. The program offers a visual walking tour that brings viewers back to the Revolutionary War era and explores why Morristown was so important to General Washington and the fight for independence. During the presentation, Mr. Farkas will guide the audience through key moments from Washington's two winter encampments in Morristown. Using images and storytelling, the program shows what life was like for soldiers and leaders during those difficult winters and how the area helped shape the outcome of the war. The event is designed for history lovers in all ages and offers a deeper look at familiar places through the lens of the past. It is sponsored by the Friends at the Madison Public Library and is open to the public.
A traveling history exhibit is now on display at the Morris County Library. The exhibit is called The Revolutionary Lives, Living the American Experiment Then and Now, and it explores New Jersey's role in the American Revolution through the stories of everyday people who lived during that time. Rather than focusing only on famous figures, the exhibit highlights ordinary residents whose choices, work, and sacrifices helped shape the nation during the Revolutionary War. Morris County played a central role in the fight for independence, serving as a key location for troops supporting General George Washington. The exhibit offers visitors a chance to better understand what daily life was like during the war and how those experiences still connect to civic life today. The exhibit is part of New Jersey's statewide effort to mark the upcoming 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States. Revolutionary Lives is free and open to the public and will be on display at the Morris County Library throughout the month. It is designed for all ages and encourages visitors to reflect on how the American experiment began and how it continues today.
Union County is offering free wedding ceremonies for couples this Valentine's Day. The Union County Surrogates Court will host this special event on February 14th, giving couples the opportunity to be married at no cost. The ceremonies will be officiated by Union County surrogate Christopher Hudak and will take place at the Galloping Hill Golf Course Clubhouse in Kenilworth. This event is offered on a first-come, first-served basis, and couples must have their marriage license completed in advance through their local municipal registrar in order to participate. This event is part of an ongoing effort by the Surrogates Office to support residents during important life moments, including offering no-cost wedding ceremonies throughout the year. For more information, visit the Union County website at the address shown on your screen.
The recent news about the proposed changes to New Jersey e-bike laws raises concern about how out of touch this proposal feels with reality on the ground. Right now, e-bike riders in New Jersey cannot find insurance because insurance don't offer it. Required licensing, registration, and insurance for everyday e-bikers will effectively make them illegal for regular people who use them to commute, run errands, or even to get around without a car. This proposal lumps low-speed e-bikes with motorized vehicles. Even though they were created to function more like bikes, the results will be higher cost, more bureaucracy, and fewer transportation operations for seniors, students, and people who rely on e-bikes because driving isn't an option. If safety is the goal, there are better answers than pricing people out of the clean, practical form of transportation. Better infrastructure, clear enforcement of existing laws, and education will go a lot further than requirements most riders cannot realistically meet. We encourage lawmakers to slow down and listen to people that actually are using e-bikes before pushing this forward. That means commuters, seniors, delivery workers, and families who depend on them every day, not as a novelty, but as a necessity. Any changes to the law should reflect how e-bikes are actually used, what is realistically available to riders, and what will truly improve safety. Until insurance options exist, infrastructure is improved, and clear distinctions are made between low-speed e-bikes and motor vehicles, moving ahead with these requirements risks doing more harm than good. Thoughtful, practical solutions are needed, not rules that unintentionally eliminate a value and accessible form of transportation.
The North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority has awarded Morris County with $9.4 million in federal funding, money which will be used to upgrade over 30 intersections in Pequannock Township. The funding, which was approved on January 12th, is specifically intended for use on the Newark Pompton Turnpike, also known as County Routes 504 and 660, between Mountain Avenue and Greenwood Avenue.
Earlier this month, the release of the 2026 Union County election calendar was announced by the Union County Clerk's Office. The election calendar is a very important resource as it provides residents with explicit information regarding important dates for voters. In celebration of the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution and the subsequent founding of our nation, the calendar is historically themed, shining a light on the citizens of Elizabeth and Union County, known at the time as Elizabethtown, who were present for and took part in the Revolution. The free calendar is now available and can be ordered online via the Union County Clerk's website. The Union County Clerk's Office encourages people to do so while supplies last. And for more information, visit the Union County website at the address shown on your screen.
Many people think the only solution to a full iPhone is buying a new one. But in many cases, that upgrade is not necessary. With a few simple changes, you can free up storage, keep your phone running smoothly, and save hundreds of dollars. One of the biggest space hogs on any iPhone is photos and videos. Turning on optimized iPhone storage, that setting allows full quality photos and videos to be stored in iCloud, while smaller versions stay on your phone. You'll still have everything exactly the same, but your phone uses far less space. Another easy fix is offloading unused apps. Your phone can automatically remove apps you haven't used in a while keeping your data intact. If you ever need the app again, you can just download it back with a tap. Messages are another hidden problem. Photos, videos, voice messages sent over time can quietly take up gigabytes of space. Deleting all messages attachments can free up storage quickly without affecting recent conversations. Subscriptions also matter. Paying for extra storage you don't need or upgrading your phone because the storage feels tight can cost far more than a small monthly iCloud plan. It's also worth reviewing large videos. Short clips add up fast, especially in high resolution. Backing them up and removing local copies can instantly reclaim space. The key takeaway is simple. A full phone does not mean an outdated phone. With a few smart settings and a short cleanup, most people can keep their current iPhone longer, avoid unnecessary upgrades, and save real money.
Morris County is officially breaking ground on a courthouse expansion project, which has been in the works for some time now. Construction of a new courthouse facility is included in the project, which will take approximately 2 years to complete. The new 8-story facility will be located on the open-air parking lot and part of the adjacent Pocket Park along Schuler Place. Residents of Morris County should note that the historic Morris County Courthouse facing Washington Street will not be demolished. Instead, it will continue to be preserved, and the new courthouse will not be built on that footprint. During construction, Schuler Place will be reduced to a 20-foot travel width, with only 2 street parking spaces being made available. That being said, replacement parking has already been provided for store patrons and visitors. Additionally, the Pocket Park facing Washington Street will undergo some changes. While citizens won't be able to visit the park during construction, once the project is complete, over 60% of the space will remain as a greenway.
A new free wellness program is coming to New Providence to help older adults stay strong, steady, and healthy. The program is called Project Healthy Bones and is designed for adults who want to improve strength, balance, and flexibility, especially those concerned about bone health or osteoporosis. Participants will take part in guided exercises that focus on major muscle groups, along with simple education sessions covering topics like bone density, fall prevention, safe movement, nutrition, medications, and everyday habits that support long-term health. The program is sponsored by the Westfield Regional Health Department, and it will be held at the New Providence Presbyterian Church on Springfield Avenue. Classes begin Tuesday, March 3rd, and run once a week from 1:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. The program lasts for 24 weeks and is completely free, but registration is required. Local officials say the goal is to help residents stay active, independent, and confident in their movement while building healthier routines that last.
Consumers set up automatic payments with good intentions. It feels responsible. Bills get paid on time, stress goes down, and life gets a little bit easy. But automatic payments can be both a helpful tool and a quiet money trap depending on how they're used. On the positive side, autopay can save real money. Some utility companies, fund carriers, and insurance providers offer a small discount just for enrolling. Over a year, those few dollars a month can add up. Automatic payments also help prevent late fees, which can be surprisingly expensive. For credit cards, setting autopay to cover the full statement balance can eliminate interest entirely, saving hundreds of dollars over time. Autopay can also protect peace of mind knowing that rent, insurance, or a loan payment is handled, removes the mental load of remembering due dates. But there is a downside people often don't notice until later. Automatic payments can make money disappear quietly. Subscriptions are the biggest example. Streaming services, apps, and memberships are easy to forget when they're renewed automatically. A few dollars here and there can turn into hundreds of dollars for things no longer being used. There is also risk with variable bills, electric, gas, or medical payments that come directly out of a checking account can spike unexpectedly. When that happens, it can trigger overdraft fees or force people to rely on credit cards to get through the rest of the month. Credit cards are their own trap. Setting autopay to the minimum payments avoid late fees, but it keeps balances hanging around and interest piling up. It feels safe, but is one of the most expensive ways to use a credit card. The key difference comes down to awareness. Automatic payment works best when they prevent penalties to earn discounts. They work against you when they remove visibility and decision making. A good habit is to renew auto payments once or twice a year. Automatic payments are not good or bad on their own. Used intentionally, they can help and be a helpful tool. Left unchecked, they can quietly drain a budget without anyone noticing until the money is already gone. Like most financial tools, the benefits come from paying attention.
Morris County officially has a new map to go with the new year. On December 17th, the Morris County Board of County Commissioners formally adopted and updated official Morris County maps. There was at least a year worth of work that went into this update. Several Morris County organizations, including the Morris County Planning Board and Morris County Municipal Utilities Authority, were notified of the revisions that were proposed. The process, which was led by the Morris County Office of Planning and Preservation, also included taking a close look at the use of land within the area. After all of this, 2 public hearings, notice of which was repeatedly published in the Daily Record, were held in December. Following the hearings, the new map was officially adopted. It covers significant portions and aspects of Morris County's landscape, from locations where the county has been involved with or may be involved with acquisition, financing, or construction to current highways and parks. For Real Good News, I'm Michaela Patton.
Elizabeth is preparing to mark a major milestone in American history with a year-long celebration honoring the nation's 250th anniversary. The initiative is called America 250 Elizabeth, and it highlights the city's role in the founding and growth of the United States through a series of community events taking place from 2025 through 2026. The celebration officially launched last October with a citywide kickoff, followed in January by a special event connected to the 222nd New Jersey legislature. In April, the focus turns to community pride, with the Elizabeth City Fair bringing residents together to celebrate local culture, history, and small businesses. The centerpiece of the celebration arrives in July of 2026 with the 250th anniversary parade and fireworks marking the historical moment with music, pageantry, and a citywide gathering. The year-long observance wraps up in October of 2026 with Elizabethtown Dinner and a Ball, a formal event honoring the people, organizations, and stories that helped shape that city.
Today, I'm breaking down Dividend stocks and a special group called Dividend Aristocrats and why many long-term investors relied on them as part of diversified portfolio. Before we get started, you should know that there are risks associated with buying stock. There is always a chance you can lose your investment, but there is also the potential for long-term growth, income, and the opportunity to build wealth over time. So keep this in mind as we move forward, okay? First, dividend stocks. A dividend stock is a share of a company that regularly pays you cash just for owning it. These payments usually come quarterly, but can also come monthly. You don't have to sell the stock to get paid. The company simply sends you money because you are a shareholder. Think of it like owning a small piece of a business that sends you a check every few months. Now, dividend aristocrats. Dividend aristocrats are a select group of companies that have increased their dividend every single year for at least 25 years. Not just pay a dividend, but raise it year after year through recessions, market crashers, inflation, and global events. So how do people invest in dividend stocks? A common strategy is simple and boring, and that's actually the point. You buy shares of solid dividend, paying companies for funds, then you turn on dividend reinvestment. Instead of taking the cash, your dividends automatically buy more shares of the same stock. Now the compounding begins. Let's say you own 100 shares of a stock. Those shares pay a dividend. That dividend buys you 2 more shares, Now you own 102 shares. Next quarter, those 102 shares pay dividends. That buys even more shares. Over time, the dividends themselves start producing dividends. This is compounding. You are not just growing your money, you are growing the number of shares that generates money. When stock prices fall, many people panic. But if you are reinvesting dividends, lower prices means your dividend payments buy more shares than before. The same dividend dollars goes further. So when prices are down, you accumulate shares faster. Then, when prices recover, you own more shares than you will have otherwise. That combination is powerful. You collect dividends when markets are calm, you collect more shares when markets are rough. And over time, both shares count and the income stream grows. The key is patience. Dividend investing is not about fast gains or excitement. It's about steady income, long-term growth, and letting time do the heavy lifting. It rewards consistently, not timing. And for many investors, especially those thinking about retirement or long-term stability, it becomes a quiet engine that keeps working year after year. That's the simple truth behind dividend stocks and dividend aristocrats. For real good news, this is Georgia Castro, and enjoy the snow.
Now it is a pleasure to bring to you the positive energy you get from watching every episode of Healthy in the Garden State. It's a program that fills your mind, your body with the kind of energy that we all need in life. Here's a sample of what you can find at Healthy in the Garden State.
Yes, figure skating is a great workout, and there are opportunities for people of all abilities to skate, be it open skate, a learn how to skate lesson, or JoJo Starbucks cool workout class here at Cody.
Yeah, I haven't been in skates in about 15 years, I think. Here we go.
Just follow me for a minute. Your arms at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock are good for balance.
Great.
Right? And you want to just take baby little steps. And you want to push to the side, not pushing back with your toe picks, because that puts you in a bad position. You never really get a good quality stroke
Okay.
if you use your toe picks. So you want to push to the side together, bend, push to the side together, bend.
Ooh, wow,
That's
it's been a
it.
minute.
Bend, good.
We appreciate Kate's work and encourage each of our viewers to head over to Healthy in the Garden State at the end of our show. Next, Steve Lebekin from State Broadcast News brings us a thoughtful excerpt from an interview conducted by Rabbi Richard Address, a nationally recognized voice on elder care, aging, and the role of spirituality in our lives. This conversation looks at how love, compassion, and generosity matter more now than ever, especially in a world that often feels divided or overwhelming. We thought this was a meaningful reminder of the good that connects us all, and a perfect fit for real good news. Let's take a look.
Thanks, Lisa. This week I'm pleased to present excerpts of a conversation between Rabbi Richard Address, a nationally known expert on issues of aging and spirituality, and best-selling author Dr. Stephen Post, author of Pure Unlimited Love, Science and the Seven Paths to Inner Peace.
You write, what is pure unlimited love? And your answer is, pure love in its undifferentiated essence is this: when the security and well-being of another is as real or meaningful to us as our own, and sometimes even more so, we are within the field of love. That's a kind of a really meaty sentence. What does that mean?
You know, it's commonsensical. It doesn't rely on a lot of ancient languages. It's something that I think everybody can understand. When the happiness and the security of another is as real or meaningful to you as your own, and sometimes more so, you love that person. So that's the definition. And unfortunately, if we look at the actions in the world of late, there are many people who are terribly biased to the degree of being murderous against various populations, I'm sorry to say, including people of Jewish background. And so this is not an easy thing to get to. You know, Immanuel Kant talked a lot about altruism, and he said ultimately the moral life, the categorical imperative, has to do with realizing that the things that we think differentiate us from them and therefore allow us to be exclusive and cruel and murderous, that those things don't hold up to logic. And we're seeing an awful lot in today's world that has no grounding in logic. Most of the differences, and I would say almost all the differences that we think exist between us and them, evaporate under the power of careful discussion and reasoning. But in our classrooms today, and this is very tragic, we don't do the kind of reasoning that we need to do. Before people really sit down and debate, I oftentimes have my students take positions that they disagree with and defend them to their best effort with great respect before they move on from that. It's kind of like the Guide for the Perplexed or whatever. It's a medieval style of philosophizing. But now in the classrooms in America, before we actually discuss and think, we judge and condemn. That's what's going on. And so many young people just don't know any better than to falsely condemn, harangue, and even violently attack groups that are not like theirs.
There's a lot of fear around this, isn't there?
There is a lot of fear. And, you know, ultimately, I have to say that I'm a realist about human nature. I think there's goodness in human nature, but I also feel that we need to have a spiritual source in our lives. And so there's another definition of pure love in that chapter, which I got from my wonderful colleague, Jeffrey Trilling, a relative, by the way, of Lionel Trilling of old. And I asked Jeff, who's a very mystical, thoughtful guy, I said, Jeff, what about pure unlimited love? And he paused and he looked down and he said, pure unlimited love is the first thing we see when we close our eyes for the last time, comma, hopefully. And there he was talking more metaphysically about love and about the wonderful experiences. I've written a lot about some of the great artists like Chagall, who had incredibly profound spiritual experiences, which animated their desire to love in their painting. So Chagall called blue the color of love after he saw a blue angel when he was sleeping one night in the streets of St. Petersburg, which itself was very anti-Semitic at the time, and he wound up in jail twice. But I have to just say that I'm not surprised at the hatred in our world, but I don't think we can overcome it based on reason alone, although reason is important, as for the reasons we just discussed. But there has to be some kind of a renewal, a spiritual renewal that focuses on a shared and a common humanity.
That'll wrap it up from State Broadcast News here in Cherry Hill. If you want to see the complete interview between Rabbi Address and Dr. Stephen Post, visit JewishSacredAging.com. I'm Steve Lubetkin. Lisa, back to you.
And now a final programming note. We want to take a moment to congratulate one of our own. Earlier this month, Georgette Castro was honored with the Best Actress Award from the East Village New York Film Festival for her leading role in Company. Congratulations from the entire team at Mortenfeld Productions. We cannot be more proud of you, Georgette. We're thrilled that your outstanding performance combined with a strong commitment to the project paid off with this wonderful award. Stay tuned for more updates on Company, our latest short film to hit the festival circuit. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Real Good News. We will be back for another episode. And until then, I'm Lisa Allen with a reminder that real good news is always worth sharing.
Now, alive. then put on its pants. Tell the truth. So my mission without fail is helping you prevail. You got to give the truth a fighting chance. Tell the truth. Beauty's truth, truth is beauty, and it's my civic duty to always find a reality. More than love, money, fame, more than rip on your good name.
I tell you something else about the truth, it will
Set you free on the road to truth you take. There's only two mistakes.